So welcome, Lydia, and thank you so much for spending time with us. Really, really, really appreciate it. So we're just going to talk through a bit about your journey, and you started the program with me, you've come to an end now, and what your thoughts are now you've completed it, and also where you were at the beginning of the process. So if you could just give us a bit of background about you and how you kind of came to be, that would be fab.
So since being a child, I have had issues and challenges with my weight, and I've done all sorts of things over the years, from I don't know, every probably diet club you could think of, read every book, tried every fad, all of those things. And I guess in my background as a child, food was a big thing because my dad was a chef. So family meals and things, it was quite a big thing. I was probably quite an introverted child as well. Just I guess my issues with food, I wasn't so aware of them probably till later in life, but definitely my weight impacted how I saw myself, how I lived life, all of those things. And this summer I turned 50, and actually kind of the whole lockdown period was quite a good one for me because it sort of gave me some time to reflect. And I'd got a bit fitter as I got to my 50th birthday, and I just reached it and kind of thought, that's it, I'm done. I'm not spending another year living life like these last years have been. I'm not spending any more time not living life to the full. And I think I described it to you as living a half life.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be in the black and white bit of the Wizard of Oz. I want to be in the technicolor bit, because that's where all the fun and adventure and excitement happens. And and for me it was I'm done with this. I need to find a way forward. And as I was thinking about that, I came across one of your videos on LinkedIn and put the note in to say, can we have a chat? So that's how I came to be talking to you.
Yeah, so that was probably about 14 weeks ago now, maybe, that we worked together. So how have you found, so you said that you've struggled with your weight for your whole life. So what did you find on my program? And maybe if you can tell people how you found it different, because mine is about a long-term solution, not about, deprivation, fatty diets and that short-term thing. And if you can just tell us like what your experience was of that, that'd be great.
Yeah. So I had actually had hypnotherapy for weight loss before, which was evidently really, really ineffective. And I think so I guess in my background, I've kind of looked at various different therapies and things like that. And for me, it was finding something that was a blend that would actually really respond to and work with the person. I couldn't bear the thought of something that felt formulaic or forced. And I know myself well enough to know that if I'm not working with somebody, I need to work with somebody that can empathize, but can also be tough in the right way. But that tough place coming from a place of real care and support. Because if I'm not, what I know for myself is that actually I'll just play games, and I won't engage with it properly. And I wanted somebody that would have the courage and the commitment to go, I am going to hold you to this. I am going to challenge you, which absolutely you have done. But as I say, always in that place of feeling very supported and very cared for, and it not being about a process. So I had my call with you on the Wednesday, I think at something like 5 o'clock, and I was on the first group coaching call at 7 o'clock that evening. It was definitely kind of, okay, we're off.
There was no getting away. That was it. You're in.
But do you know what? I think that was probably the best thing that could have happened, because that first group call, just listening to other people who are at different stages in the journey, was really inspirational and encouraging. And they were all so honest and so brave, and there were things that I could resonate with what different people were saying. It felt like such a place, free of judgment. And it was just really encouraging to hear other people kind of talking about how they were shrinking in size, how their relationship with food had changed, and how they were changing as people. So that was really encouraging. And then I had the next group call, and then just to that I had my first session with you. And yeah, it was like, if I think back to it, I can remember being, the session was tough and challenging, and I did get emotional in it, but what was wonderful was when the session ended, that emotion was about exploring something to change something. And honestly, at the end of that first session, I felt changed. And I was going supermarket shopping the next morning. I shared with you that one of my trigger foods was bread. And I can remember being in the supermarket and going, and the smell of fresh bread just being really almost offensive.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
There being nothing appealing about it whatsoever, but just wandering around the supermarket and aisles that I would have gone down, because I was in a very bad kind of binge eating habit. There's no getting away from it, and as a consequence, eating what I would describe as anything beige that you can stuff in your face. And
that uncontrollable
eating.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I can just remember walking around the supermarket and walking past things, going in my head, going, not like me, I don't eat that. That's not like me, I don't eat that. I'm going, well, this is all a bit weird, isn't it? What's going on? But it was just it. So there was a very instant kind of change in kind of mindset and feeling, and listening to the recordings. It was really good, and working out for me when was the best time to listen to them. And actually for me, it was during the day rather than at night. I found it best for me to do it. And then just sitting with that and through the group sessions and the activities with you, writing the homework and the different activities you have to do, and it was great. And I feel almost from kind of that day I've just been a bit like the Cheshire Cat.
Yeah, I mean, you've massively transformed, but picking up the point of the different tasks and things, you did throw yourself in 100% without shadow of a doubt. I mean, everything that I set you stuck to, and you did.
Yeah.
And how did you find all of that?
So some of it was more challenging than others. Some of it was right, this is the time you're doing it, because if you don't do it then you're going to give yourself wriggle room. But I genuinely know that when I came into this, for me this was it. There was no if, buts or maybes. I was making an investment, and I was making an investment in me, and that kind of, this is going to work. I genuinely don't think I ever doubted that it wasn't going to work. I think I thought it would probably be, so I was going to say it'd probably be harder work. I'm not saying it's been easy, but
yeah.
I think what's made it easier is being committed to it and going, do you know what, I'm just going to stick with this, and and give it a go, which I have done. And it's been an enjoyable process. It's been a great process in learning about me. It's through the 3 main sessions, which have given me the recordings to listen to, just noticing the shift and noticing some of my own things and noticing my own language, it's really interesting. So I can remember that phrase of I've got to swallow my feelings down, and just how that language was so associated with with food and those things. Just going, wow, that's a really interesting kind of thing that's been trapped in here, that's now been changed. So yes, I've reduced in size, and the weights come off, and I think I've lost about heading almost for 1.5 stone now, which is great, because I'd lost a bit of weight coming into it and I wanted to lose it steadily. But it's just how I feel about me, Emily. That's the thing that is just, honestly, I could get really quite emotional just talking about that bit of it on its own, because I've spent most of my life, I would think, from probably being a child where you kind of develop that self-awareness of others in the world kind of not particularly liking me, not really valuing me, not thinking I had that much to offer. And a big thing for me, the way I coped with life, was defining roles for myself and playing those roles. And broadly terrified of being me, because I didn't know how to be me, and I didn't think me would be accepted. And now all that kind of worry has gone, and I don't care whether people like me or not, because that's to do with them, not me. And I know I'm pretty damn amazing. And
you are, definitely.
And I will discover more of that. And just that belief in myself, and other people have seen it and observed it, you know, friends, you know, people at work have gone, there's something different about you. And I feel emotionally and mentally the lightest I've felt in years. You know, so actually there's another kind of reducing there, or, you know, letting go of things, which is amazing. But yeah, and I genuinely feel like I could take on the world, and I go through a big bit of change in life in terms of job and career, and rather than being fearful of all that, I'm excited about it and feeling confident and bold in the decisions that I can make. And I think probably for the first time in decades, I'm going, oh, this is me. This is pretty all right. This is good. Which is, as I say, it's just delightful, amazing. I feel the best about me I think I've ever felt.
I mean, you look so different when we first met. It was almost this kind of, oh, you know, life, not life is hard, but life, you know, there's nothing there almost. And now you're just blooming. You look fabulous. You look so well. I mean, and even one of your friends has said to me about how amazing it has been a transformation. I think you will probably agree with me on that. And so it's not just the weight that's come off, it's been a big life change, right?
Oh, completely, a huge life change. So yeah, absolutely. The weight's coming off, and I know it will continue to come off, because actually I care about me, I value me. I'm not behaving in some of those ways that I used to, that was really lacking any care or concern, and abusing me. And that part of that abuse was through food, through what I was eating. It was how I was thinking about myself, talking to myself. It was all of those things that were, you know, if I had seen one person behave to another person the way I was behaving towards me, I would have wanted to call the police, you know, because actually it was brutal. You know, it was abuse, you know. It was definitely, you know, self-abuse. And that's gone. That's absolutely gone. And, you know, I don't hear myself saying, you know, a lot of those things that I was, even down to really small things, like if I was doing something and you know, sent a text or something daft like that, one of my standard comments of, oh, for goodness sake, fat fingers.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's eliminated, and that's gone. And I hadn't really even associated the, you know, because it's just kind of a daft phrase, but I'm going, actually no, that's a really loaded daft phrase that actually is just you reinforcing, you know, how you know that you're daft first and foremost, that you think you're stupid, you think you're incapable, and telling yourself repeatedly that you're daft isn't healthy, and you're telling yourself you're fat. You know, so you're just through a really simple, oh, I'm sending a text and I've put a typo in there. It's just fascinating. So yeah, very transformational.
Yes, and you look transformed, you look incredible. So so people will be watching this and thinking, you know, is this for me? Should I reach out? You know, I've tried so many things before, you know, which you have as well. Yep. So I just wondered if you've got anything that you would say to people who are kind of, you know, wondering whether they should go down this route, and is this going to work for them?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say go for it. So it's so different to any other process that you're going to go through, and it's not a diet, it's not a weight loss program. It's about you rewiring some of those thinking processes, those thought patterns, and therefore, because you're thinking differently, you can behave differently, and that's the thing that's transformational about it, because so much other stuff is just focuses on the behavior change, and that unless you understand the thing that was driving that behavior, that's never going to be sustained. And I've always described it as feeling like there were bungee cords on my behavior. They needed to be cut. And I definitely feel like this process has cut those bungee cords. And actually, I wouldn't even say they've cut them, they've removed them, because I always think when a bungee cord has been cut, you can almost still feel it there. It's still attached, but it's just cut. And they've been removed, they're not there anymore. And it's so, yes, it's a commitment. It's a commitment of time, it's a commitment of money, but it's a commitment to you. And you know, we would all, I think, care for other people, spend money on other people, do things for other people. We would invest in them often before we'd invest in ourselves. And the thing that I know is, so I love caring for people. That's part of who I am. It's part of my DNA. But the thing that I've realized is I can now care for people so much better because I'm caring for me. And they absolutely, truly get the best of me. And sometimes caring for people is me going, no, not right now. Because I need to invest in me. And actually, there's nothing about this that's selfish or indulgent. This is about you giving yourself the best opportunity to be the person you're meant to be and live your life to the fullest.
Absolutely. Oh, what wonderful words. So I'm really excited. What's next for Lydia then?
So I just set up my own business, which is all very exciting. So it's combined with kind of quite a big career change, and it's carrying on with it. So I will continue to listen to the recordings because I want to. Partly they're great relaxation. So taking 20 minutes to listen to a recording is great relaxation, and it's reinforcing some of the things and the changes. There's definitely some of the things like, you know, thinking about the gratitude and all of those kind of things that I will be continuing with. So the future is just really exciting. And it doesn't feel, the unknown doesn't feel scary. The unknown genuinely feels exciting because it's full of possibilities.
And that just tops it off for somebody who came, and I remember that first call, and you just said, I'm just in these prison shackles, I feel like I'm living a half-life. So now hear you say that is just it's the best gift for me, actually. It's incredible. You've been an absolute joy to work with, you really have, and I'm so pleased to see you just emerge as this beautiful butterfly. Absolutely
Spread my wings and fly.
Yes. Brilliant.
I want to say thank you, because it has been, you know, I genuinely do feel cared for and supported, and you know, it's really clear that yes, this is your business, but it's also your passion. It's also the thing that, you know, you genuinely want to help whoever it is you're dealing with, and you know, adapt and flex to get them to the place that they need to be, and that's awesome. So thank you.
Very welcome. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And I'm looking forward to hearing about the next chapter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Thank you.
Okay.